Okay, so this is, I don't know, 15x. Okay, we're trying to get past all the stuff that's right in the center of stuff that wants to be talked. Because the stuff that's coming through me is just stuff that wants to be talked. I don't even know what it is. It just channeled right through an enormous, raging river of stuff. There's an unbelievably huge, raging river of rage, human rage. It's in consciousness. Rage, it is. I can't handle it. You just take a little tiny sample, little teeny sample, a teaspoonful, half a tea. You can't even take that much. The rage is off the chart. Humans enraged, mostly at other humans. Mostly. I don't know. People rage at God. In the olden days, I think they did. People don't believe in God these days, so no one rages like this, non-existent things. It'd be like raging at the wallpaper. I do. People do scream, but I don't know at the wallpaper. But the wallpaper does hear. Hugh Lan, Ihaliakala Hugh Lan, the spiritual teacher from Hawaii, he says that even the room is alive. When I went to his seminar in Portland, Oregon, no, I didn't go near the Navy base because they say that the Navy base might be where the terrorists are hosted that torture me by electronic harassment. The terrorists said that. No one believes anything that the terrorists say, but they did say that one time. No one really believes that Scott Dougal from Google is involved with terrorizing me, do they? I know. I mean, I've said it a million times, and I've been forced to type it various comments on the internet. I have. So, if you know Scott Dougal out there, you can say, that I have been doing that. The body has been doing it, but it's hijacked. It's not my will. None of this is my will. It's hijacked. My original voice, the voice of the original person, he's still here. He's a silent witness up here now. His voice was taken away by high tech. I don't know. This voice that came in, they call this voice Uncle. I mean, the devils. They call the voice that comes through Bob, this voice, Uncle. Because it's not Bob's original voice. Rumpelstiltskin, the electronic character of the terrorist, came through. Rumpelstiltskin is a phony baloney name used by the original terrorist who started talking to me voice to skull about 6 years ago. Code name. Call it code name Rumpelstiltskin. Oh, he was a curious character. He was pretending to be Rumpelstiltskin out of the fairy tales. It wasn't until later that he and it seemed to not know about Once Upon a Time, the TV show. I was kind of surprised to when we came across it because when he first started talking to me, he didn't say it was from Once Upon a Time, the TV show. I didn't. Anyways, for time and time and time again, the terrorists, use voice to skull, the one that called himself Rumpelstiltskin. Oh, the other ones, there's many different characters that come through. Anyways, they're the ones that said it's Scott Dougal from Google who is their boss. Well, the first time I heard it don't make no sense. No, it doesn't. But it's just that the longer the time goes on, it's like strangely it kind of could make sense because when you're at the vice president level of one of the largest corporations on the planet and you do tech, and it's like tech is what they're using to attack me. California down the street from Raytheon and Martin Marietta and other places that make all kinds of high tech things for hijacking people and blowing them smithereens and torturing them, psychological warfare. Dance of the Valkyries they played on speakers and during the Vietnam War, Apocalypse Now. I mean, that's very primitive, but that was 1967. We come a long way, baby, in ways of psychologically torturing people. Imposed virtual reality. That's what the people told me, the terrorists told me to call it that now. Somebody looked up a new word, the terrorists. So, anyways, do I believe that Scott Dougal from Google is guilty of terrorizing me? No. Do I think he's involved? Yeah. How? He's under mind control. So it's not his fault. I don't know how far mind control goes. Like, can mind control. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just that it appears to me that everybody is under electronic remote monitoring and has been their whole life. And this is what, electronic, synthetic telekinesis of my hand. I don't know. It's just like, you're using Dr. Ho on certain muscle groups by remote control, and I don't have control of my body anymore. I don't know. Because the original voice of this person was, because even though it was Bob's voice that he'd always had, your own voice, your own internal voice, you've had it forever. It's just that, Rumpelstiltskin was very smart because he said all that time, looking back, because it does seem that there's been a lot of mind control on me over the years, dumbing me down. Blocking memory, making memory hard to remember, making it very hard for me to do simple math additions in my head. Lots of stuff. In the old days, we would call it the human condition. Some people are smarter than others. Now we say, no, you are all under electronic harassment in the remote neural monitoring, and you have been your whole life. Because that's what I've discovered after I've been tortured. Go back 3 years and you'll see I've been tortured 3 years ago. I've been doing all kinds of stuff. Researching all this stuff because that's what just keeps coming more and more about it. Anyways, Rumpelstiltskin wanted to go and study a bunch of stuff, and whatever it was I was talking about earlier, I can't remember because it's been pushed out of my mind. Was it dementia? I do think dementia is caused by electronic harassment. I've come to that conclusion because there's times when I've been incredibly taken over by this stuff. So much so, it's like, well, fuck, I might up here like I got a stroke or I got dementia at times. I can't get words out, or, I'm being herky-jerked around by terrorists, by remote, this all the time. Every day. They're on the line, they're talking. A lot of times they're talking along with me because sometimes this is what, I don't know. They commentate the whole time. A lot of times they think it's a TV show that they're producing for you. Because that Ed Harris, I know we talked about it earlier. I don't know, he likes to talk about that. In the Truman Show, Ed Harris, the devil. I don't know, the human being that's got the high-tech electronic booth where they run even the weather for Truman. Well, that's the way it is on planet Earth because we know from HAARP, HAARP, you can look that up. That's an old-time conspiracy theory that they do control the weather, and they do. I'm trying not to smile. I don't want to look like I'm happy. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. You're not. And coffee's pretty good. On the bright side, no bright side. Well, it's just, the bright side is that I just want to let you know, on the record, I'm electronically harassed all the time. So whatever the words come out, whatever they are. But, as if just that if I can be afflicted by mind control, because this is what this is, hijacking is mind control, and it's gone on my whole life. And I remember I don't remember talking to Scott Dougal in particular, but many of the kids when I was a kid would talk about this earbug when you'd hear the radio song in your head. I really don't think Scott Dougal's any different than anybody else on the planet. I mean, really. So whatever's going on at Google, if there is some involvement at Google with people torturing me, and if it did involve somebody like that, I have to be just like Jesus Christ and let you all off the hook. Because there's mind control on me, and there has been my whole life, and it hasn't stopped to this moment. And I say things out of this body that, the original occupant who's the silent witness in here, the original person that I'm the replacement voice for, my name is Uncle, and I've come from somewhere else to replace Bob's original voice, and that's the truth. I couldn't help you out. I could muscle test it for you. A lot of people know I muscle test, but that was the truth. Very strong, yes. It's a very convoluted universe. Dolores Cannon used The Convoluted Universe as the title of many of her books. She did hypnotic regression on people, and she came up with all kinds of stories that are probably CIA psyops. So, is there anybody on the planet who is not mind controlled? This is the biggest kicker. In my opinion, everyone on the planet, including the 1%, the top tier, and their top minions, PhDs. In my opinion, everybody on this planet is under mind control. Everyone. Because we're all human. And it's very easy to mind control a human because I'm a prime example. Because I'm a smart guy and I'm, hijacked so much. Does it sound crazy to say that you can be hijacked and your original voice can be moved away? Does it sound crazy when you hear a perfect radio quality version of a song playing in your head and there's no radio on anywhere? Or your nose itches and there's no insects around to land on your nose to make you feel like you need to itch it to get rid of the insect. It's just itchy. That's microwave. You go look it up, microwave attack, and go and find out. Making skin itch or burn is something you can do with microwave. You can do all this voice. It's all there. So why are we disclosing it? Because I don't even know. Is it a computer in the end? The computer that runs this from previous generations? Previous civilizations on planet Earth? Well, yeah, there's all kinds of stories that there were incredibly high-tech Atlantis. I don't know. Maybe it's mythology for us. Maybe I don't know. Anyways, I'm just going to tell you. In my opinion, even if people are guilty and you've got film or you witness people's bodies being there and attacking me using computer-generated typewriters or whatever and pull-down menus or whatever to torture me, as horrible as it is, because they're mind-controlled too, I don't know what you do with them, though. This is the biggest problem. Because if everybody's mind-controlled, then I don't know. Does it reduce crime to put, I don't know, people who are mind-controlled into jail? Because everybody on the planet is mind-controlled. Beast 666 computers were the older version of these computers. That was a conspiracy theory, but it just doesn't seem to be anything other than the truth. Star Trek gave us many examples of civilizations that were run by artificial intelligence. But is it maybe one giant? I don't know. It could be could it be a reptilian? Could be a giant 35-foot tall reptilian who's got incredible, what do you call those, mental powers. There was an incredible book about this particular thing. Isaac Asimov, one of his, in a series of books called the Foundation books, sci-fi, Foundation. And one of the Foundation books, there is somebody called the Mule. And the Mule has got more psychic power than every other creature in the galaxy put together. The Mule. So could the Mule do mind control? Well, in the book, he did. I don't know if he mind controlled everybody. It might have been like Jedi Master Anakin Skywalker or something doing Jedi mind tricks and saying, these aren't the droids you're looking for. I don't know. Jerry, my friend Jerry, who talks about ancient wisdom, I don't know if it was him or somebody else what might have said, back in the days of Atlantis, they think that they did use crystals, like quartz crystals and those kind of crystals, somehow a technology to do amplification of people's thoughts and will. In Star Trek, there was an episode, Plato's Stepchildren, where a lot of people had spiritual superpowers. There was one person, Alexander. He was like a little dwarf, and he didn't have the superpowers, and he was horribly abused by people who have superpowers. I don't know, original Star Trek. I mean, the Ultimate Computer episode about a supercomputer that's smarter than all the humans put together. Original Star Trek in Canada, it's on Netflix. You should watch it. Because everything you need to know about what might be going on here in this nutty planet, in this convoluted universe, might just be in the original Star Trek.